Welcome to another one of my weird walks. I'm in a very wet and windy Wiltshire today on this beautiful September day. I have come, however, to a very interesting location. I'm going to check out West Kennet Long Barrow and also Silvery Hill nearby, so please do join me. Let's go and take a closer look. West Kennet Long Barrow has to be one of the most well-preserved Neolithic burial sites in the UK. This 30-foot long ancient burial tomb dates to 3600 BC, making it even older than both Avebury stone circle and Stonehenge. The barrow consists of several stone chambers which housed the remains of at least 36 Neolithic people, along with precious grave goods including pottery, beads and stone weapons. Archaeologists believe the tomb remained open for ancestor worship and was not sealed for a further 1,000 years after these burials took place. Today, West Kennet Long Barrow remains open to all who wish to investigate this incredible piece of Neolithic history. So I'm just on the approach now to the West Kennet Long Barrow on this very grey, drizzly September day. Once again, I find myself in a field with cows. Wonderful. Private land. Oh, I see, I've got to go to the left. Okie dokie. Feels very strange walking up here because feels like you're in the middle of some farmers' fields. Stay on the path and you can't go wrong, right? Right, let's take a look inside. So we've got a shrine here, a little candle, and there's some flowers that have been left behind. Incredible. So 36 people, apologies about my camera light, were buried here in the Neolithic period. And there's signs that this was used for ancestor worship because the tomb itself wasn't sealed for a further 1,000 years after those bodies were buried in here. So it points to the fact that these Neolithic people would go in and out of the tomb and bring the bodies of the dead in and out so that those bodies could take part, so to speak, in important rituals and Sabbats like the solstice, both summer and winter. And archaeologists believed that that's what they did. It's very early ancestor worship. And nobody missed out, not even when they were in the afterlife. They were still included by the community. And I find that absolutely fascinating. But how amazing that we can stand inside this tomb, an actual burial tomb today. Absolutely amazing. It's got feathers and leaves and flowers, and there's a small statue there as well. So again, people still use this, pagans practicing today will still use this as a sacred place to honour their gods and goddesses and ancestors. I read on the English heritage sign as well that they would sort the deceased out into groups of children, women, men, and then people of importance. Particular importance, everyone's important. I mean people that maybe had status within their community. And again, it's just amazing, isn't it, that Neolithic man created this without the tools, without the road systems we have today. It's great big heavy sarsen stones. I'm in awe. Absolutely amazing place. I think I'm going to sit here a while and just absorb this incredible place, the energy, and gosh, what's happened here in the past. It's just incredible. We're so lucky to have this kind of history here in this country. And Wiltshire and Dorset are absolutely full of it. So I'm just looking at this information here. It's very, very wet. So at the back of the chamber they had 4 male adults and 1 child's skull was found. In the centre here, 3 female adults, 3 male adults, 1 unsexed adult and 1 child's skull. Very strange that the skulls of the children were buried here with, sort of intact adults. 2 female adults, 1 male adult and 1 newborn skull. And 6 females, 6 male adults and 2 teenagers in this small chamber here, and then 1 female adult, 1 male adult and 5 children in that very first chamber that I went in. And here's the blocking stone. So this stone wasn't put there until after around 1,000 years after these burials took place, so that they could bring their loved ones in and out, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, that's the blocking stone that they finally put on there when they sealed the tomb. Okay, so I'm just going to have a little look over the top now. Oh, these big steps. There's Silvery Hill over in the distance. Here we are. So there are stories of ghosts here. Of course, with 36 burials having taken place, it's reported that a priest dressed in sort of pagan clothing is seen around the solstices going in and out of the tomb. He is accompanied by a white large hound with red ears, and these dogs are supposed to be associated with the Fae. So we've got some fairy lore here at this location. So next I'm heading over to that very large hill over there, which is Silvery Hill. We'll go and take a look. Okay, and here in front of us we have Silvery Hill, and it's quite difficult from my camera to get a real good idea of just how big this hill stands, and it's the largest man-made prehistoric mound in Europe. It's 30 metres high and 160 metres wide. It was built around about the same time as Avebury, so it's equally as ancient as the Avebury site nearby. And it was believed to be a very special place, although they do not know exactly why it was built. There's no sign of burials being here when it's been excavated. Archaeologists over time have dug 3 separate tunnels into the centre of the hill. All that has been found was decaying organic matter such as moss, turf, insects, pollen and snails, which from those samples they were able to date its construction to between 2470 and 2350 BC. So as well as being a special place for the Neolithic people that originally built it, the Romans also thought it was a very special place, and they built a road and an extensive settlement around the foot of the mound. So it's been very special for many people for a very, very long time. Continues to blow my mind that early man did this. This must have taken millions of hours to do. It's huge. And then the ditch on the outside, it says that that is 100 metres in diameter as well, which they would have dug out. Incredible. It's just amazing. How did they build that all those years back then? And why? If it's not for burial purposes, then what was its purpose? It's a mystery. Well, thank you so much for joining me today here in Wiltshire at West Kennet Long Barrow, and I hope you also had enjoyed looking at Silvery Hill. Please do consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss another one of my weird walks, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time.